It's another beautiful day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it, and I am glad that you could join me. Welcome. So we got the wheels on the mower deck. Let's go up to the shop and just see what our next step is. This is going to be fun. All right, there we go. It's a thing of beauty. All four of them are on. They're pretty square. I can't see anything that go wrong with it. After I welded each one on, I said, that ain't going anywhere. So you know that it's still good. It's going to be good. So what I want to do next is figure out what size pulley we want to run on the motor. So what I did the math on how to find the right size pulley and what RPMs we want to run and all that stuff. And, well, yeah, once I realized that that is above my pay grade, I went underneath MTD at the junkyard. Six inches. Nice. And after realizing that 6 is one of the numbers in my equations, I broke the bank. Yeah, brand new, $15. There goes our YouTube budget for the month. So I guess all that's left to do now is pull the motor off of the push mower. And, well, let's get it up here on the chopping block. Get it? Chopping block? Like it's a cement block that you chop it up on, a chopping block. Get it? All right, it's up on the chopping block, and after some scraping of what I can only describe as smelling like horse manure, it's strong. I found that we have to take off the 1 bolt, holds the blades on, and then 1, 2, 3 bolts. So let's get those things off, and this thing will just come off easy peasy lemon squeezy because there are no cables or anything connected to this motor. All right, engine's up on the workbench, and as we can see from here, this probably didn't originally go in that chassis. The reason why I say that is I think this pulley is for a self-propelled one, so I think this motor came off of a self-propelled unit, and, you know, somebody swapped it out. But here's my idea for the pulley, or what I'm thinking. I could try and take this all off. It's really rusty. It's bad. But I think I want to just leave this as much intact as I can, because if we ever decide that this is a failure, we can just put it back as a push mower. So what I'm thinking is I take this pulley my 6-inch pulley that I got, and I'm going to take like a fender washer, right? And it fits in here. So I'll weld that around, so then the bolt that held the blade on can go through and it'll be centered, right? Because that fits tight enough. And then on the back side, we will cut up the blade and weld it to the pulley, so then it just fits over the square drive where, you know, the blade went anyways. So it can't, the pulley can't spin. Well, it spins with the motor. It can't spin freely. And then if we ever decide we want to turn this back to a push mower again, all we need to do is buy a blade, and this blade is, well, it needs to be replaced anyways, to be honest with you. So we're really out nothing if we want to turn it back, you know, just plan B in case this goes extremely wrong. So let me see what I can do about getting that all welded up and cut, and then, well, let's see how it fits. And then, once we have that all figured out, we can figure out how to mount this motor. This is going to be fun. Cha! So, there we go. Paint's still tacky, but I don't know why that won't work. So now that we have the pulley done, we can put it on the motor, and then we can see about mounting the motor, because we'll have the right height and everything. So this is going to work out, I think. I think that's going to hold. So let's get this motor, or this on the motor, and let's get the motor kind of placed in place. All right, pulley's mounted on, looks good. Everything seems fine, level, flush, you know, all the good stuff. So now what I want to do is measure from the bottom surface up to my mounting point. So it looks like we are at 4 7/8. Yep, so 4 7/8. So now we need to figure out how we're going to mount this. So I know what you're thinking. Go to the metal supply depot, buy angle iron, some plate steel, some tubing. Nope. I mean, you could, but here's what I dug up. I think that's a realtor sign, maybe, maybe not, I don't know. And, well, there's the, you know, pieces left over from the push mower. So my thought is I can cut that out, mount it, you know, like it was mounted, you know, when the motor was in there, right? Or if there ever was a motor in this, whatever. And then, you know, we got some angle iron to mount it to the deck. So let's get this thing cut up and then mounted on, and then we can kind of figure out from there the height we need to put it with this stuff. So let's give this a shot. Ta-da! Okay, so that's cut off. Now what I did was I measured from here to here, and that is 7/8 of an inch. So our old number was 4 7/8. Then we take away 7/8 of an inch because we're dropping it down, right? So now we're at 4 inches. And then I measured, holding the belt tight, across here. We need a gap for the belt to sit. You know, we don't want it rubbing. It looks like it was rubbing a little bit here, but we don't want the belt rubbing across here, nor do we want our pulley grinding on there. So I put it tight and measured, and from this point here, which is the edge of this, it is 3/4 of an inch off of the top of the deck at this point. Now the deck is angled, but at this point, that's the only one we care about, 3/4 of an inch. So that looks like we are now needing to mount this plate up 4 inches, 4 3/4 inches off of the deck at this point. So what I think I'm going to do is just run angle iron all the way down here. This will mount something like that. I kind of designated the X as like the center for the center of the pulley. I'm not worried about the belt right now. We can route it. We can do whatever we need to do. We'll deal with that later. But right now, I want to get this all mounted where it needs to be. So I think I'll just measure, put a piece of angle iron down here all the way up, and then 4 3/4 inches up, and then weld it here. And we'll kind of do the same thing over here, only we'll just make it level. We don't care about whatever size that is. So we'll just make it level weld it in, and then we'll figure out where we want to put bracing and stuff, but at least we can get this kind of floating in there. Also, I noticed there's a crack, so I'm going to have to weld this up. That's what happens when you use stuff from the semi-permanent collection. But yeah, let me get this figured out where I need to do it and get it welded in. All right, so here's what I came up with. It's not bad. It's not bad. Everything's just tacked. I don't have it, burnt in completely. But we went with 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So that one is kind of angled out because I need to clear, the belt, right? So the belt needs to come here. This one, you're probably asking, is, well, don't you need to clear that? Well, I have an idea. I have an idea. It involves the John Deere mower deck, right, that we redid, and there were a few pulleys on there that, we replaced, but there was nothing wrong with them. So what if we could throw, like, a pulley in here? We'll have to probably cut this bracket, but then we could pulley, and then it would wrap around the motor pulley more, right? So the more belt you have on the pulley, the better it is, the less chances of it slipping. So go like that. Then under here, there, crossed, right, around the pulley, and there. I think that'll work the best. I mean, I'm just shooting at the hip, but I think that'll work the best. And then what my plans are is if I can take like a piece, we've got plenty of that realtor sign left. So, I could weld something in there, weld it in here as well on the top. And then once we figure out where, it runs, just put something in there to help brace that. But I mean, they're just tacked in and they're not going anywhere. And then, if we put this back on, something like, yeah, there we go. All my marks lined up. So then we would have that entire area we could weld there that we could weld, and then the bracing over here. I think it'll be plenty strong enough for what we need to do. So yeah, and then we might even be able to use, I don't know, we might be able to use the belt that it came with. I don't know, probably not, but we at least can figure that out. So that is actually all the time I have for this week, because I need to get this edited and out to you guys. So that's the plan. But hey, we got it, we got it mounted, and I measured right from here up, and we're a little over 5 3/4, which is, it's like 1/8 of an inch over. But we can grind this down. Also, if we put washers, we can actually adjust, right, the level of the motor. So, I mean, I'm not too concerned. I just want a nice, sturdy mount, and I think this will do it for a sturdy mount. If not, hey, we'll figure it out when we come across to it. But I think that'll do it for this video. So, oh yeah, don't forget. Be blessed. Peace. Clean up the shop, they say. Clean up the shop. It'll make it so much easier to work, and now you can't find any of the pulleys that you just had like 2 weeks ago. I know they're in here somewhere. Aye. There you are. T2 and T4. Nice. Be blessed. Peace.